Today on the podcast, I want to talk about a really interesting company that has just raised $10.6 million to build a conversational interface for security tools, and that is Nexusflow. We're going to be talking about some of the implications, the reason why I think this, generative AI company is very interesting, where I think they're going to be going into the future, and why they have a valuation of over $50 million. We're going to dive into all of that, cover some of the implications. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Welcome to the world's #1 AI podcast, AI Chat. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Make sure that you go to aibox.ai, link in the show notes, to join the waitlist for our new AI platform. We're going to be launching an incredible platform that allows you to build anything you want with workflows in AI. So you're able to chain together ChatGPT and image generators and audio generators to make really powerful apps for your organization, or you can host them on our marketplace and actually generate royalties from them. So make sure to go to aibox.ai and join the waitlist. In addition, if you like the podcast, if you could do me a massive favor and please leave us a review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. This helps me be able to get better guests on here as they check the reviews to see how you guys are liking it. So if you could please do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. In a significant move, I think that really emphasizes the growing intersection of generative AI and cybersecurity, Nexusflow, which is a Silicon Valley startup, announced today that it has secured $10.6 million in a seed funding round. This was led by Point72 Ventures and also had participation from Fusion Fund and several kind of esteemed AI experts and investment people. And I think this really kind of propels the company's valuation to $53 million, and that's post. So Nexusflow's founder and CEO is Jiantu Zhao, and Jiantu stated that the capital is going to be channeled towards hiring, research and development, and ongoing product refinement, saying, quote, "We're helping customers pioneer the adoption of generative AI. Nexusflow delivers a substantial benefit to security teams by enhancing their capabilities in various ways." So this was actually founded by a formidable trio consisting, of course, of the CEO we mentioned, also who is a computer science professor at UC Berkeley. Jian Yang is a former director of machine learning software at Samanova, and then also Kurt Keitzer, who is an ex-CTO at Synopsys. So Nexusflow was created on the foundation that generative AI has disruptive potential in the cybersecurity landscape. And Jiao actually kind of expounded on all of this by saying, quote, "In today's digital era, security professionals grapple with an unending stream of evolving threats. They wrestle with countless data sources and tools. Their work feels like an eternal grind. Security operations centers perennially operate with too few hands to manage the ever-increasing workload. The intersections of generative AI and cybersecurity is heating up but remains less crowded than fields like sales or legal." So if we're kind of looking at the market trend here, I think it's worth noting that Nexusflow is not alone in this endeavor. This year, both Google and Microsoft have launched generative AI features as part of their security product portfolios. And I think these upgrades really kind of aim to simplify the complex tasks of sifting through massive sets of security data by facilitating queries in natural language, right? So essentially, a cybersecurity professional and it would be able to use this kind of natural language and query different things to find out if there's different threats or if there's different weaknesses in the system. But when we're looking at kind of the functionality and potential here, I think according to Jiao, Nexusflow aims to consolidate data from a bunch of different security knowledge bases and integrate them with existing security tools via their APIs. So using open source large language models deployed either behind a customer's firewall or in a cloud setting, the platform allows users to manage security software and receive metrics and insights through natural language commands. So Jiao also recently said, quote, "The security team can instruct Nexusflow in plain English to seamlessly operate evolving security tools, avoiding steep learning curves and misconfigurations. The true revolutionary potential of generative AI becomes evident when it seamlessly interprets human instructions, synthesizes information from disparate sources, and effortlessly manages intricate software operations. This represents a paradigm shift in the field." So I think when we're kind of looking at the road ahead for Nexusflow and where we're going to see this going into the future, I think while details concerning Nexusflow's integration with specific security applications and services is not super clear to me, to be 100% honest, Jiao recently said that several companies are in talks with them for kind of proof of concepts, and the startup, which currently has a team of around 10 people, is looking to double its workforce by the year's end to handle the growing interest in its unique offering. I think where it's really going to struggle or maybe run into a difficulty is really building something that's compelling and robust enough to compete with, similar tools and offerings from Microsoft and Google. But I think there's always space for small niche startups that do one thing very, very well, in relation to kind of these bigger giants like Microsoft or Google that aren't quite as nimble and may not be able to target specific areas. So depending on how broad they are planning on being, I think is really where their success is they're really going to find their success. But in any case, I think the round of funding and strategic goals set by Nexusflow signal an interesting phase for the cybersecurity industry, one that sees kind of a fusion of generative AI technology as a really compelling solution to age-old challenges. So whether Nexusflow will live up to this mounting expectation, I think remains to be seen, but the startup is certainly one to watch in, I think, this rapidly evolving landscape of cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. So I'll definitely keep you updated on how they progress in the future.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.